your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66.
Joplin, Missouri,
Oklahoma City, looking mighty pretty.
Gallup, New Mexico,
Flagstaff, Arizona,
forgive Winona,
Kingman, San Bernardino, yeah, this time we tip. When we make that California trip, get your kicks on Route 66. There you go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oakland City, looking mighty pretty. See Amarillo and Gallup, New Mexico. Flagstaff, Arizona, don't forget Winona. Kingman, Boston, San Bernardino, won't you get hip to this time to tip when you make that California trip. Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We'll hear more from them. That was just fabulous. Really pleased that you were able to be here. Let's acknowledge again our special guests. Loving that harmony. Wow. Well, let me explain what this has to do with our theme. So, our theme, you see, is balance, working from the core. Still isn't self-explanatory. And so a few weeks ago, I went to see the play, and I was so taken. It is so much fun. My cheeks were sore. My cheeks were sore. I laughed so hard, I thought my cheeks were going to fall off. They were so sore from laughing, from just enjoying, from being in pure joy, pure bliss. And it was so much fun. So Reverend Karen and I talked about, well, they might be willing to come if we could figure out a way that it would go with your topic. I said, I'll figure out a way, no problem. So and it is so obvious to me once I started thinking about it. Okay, so if balance is one of the qualities we need in life, which it is, and if, well, let me just go back. I'll go back. So, and if we think of our life as a journey, if we think of our life as the metaphor for our life is a journey, road trip, so to speak, from Chicago to Los Angeles, which is what the musical is all about, then it actually fits very well. But I thought last night, gosh, I wonder if 6 has a special meaning, a sacred meaning. And actually, not only does 6 have a sacred meaning, which I already knew, but 66 has a sacred meaning. So angel number 66 asks you to balance your physical, material, and spiritual lives, which is exactly what I intended to talk about. See, we're always supported, always supported. So anyway, so from Chicago. And Chicago truly represents that material place that we most of us start on when we're, before we get onto our spiritual path. So this is a poem by Carl Sandburg. I memorized it when I was a teenager. Probably some of you know it. Hog butcher for the world, tool maker, stacker of wheat, player with railroads, and the nation's freight handler. Stormy, husky, brawling, city of the big shoulders, Chicago. So we start there, and honestly, we do, on our spiritual path, start at that physical level, and oftentimes it's a reactive level, where we're reacting to life. We're not responding, and we're not directing, we're reacting. And where are we on our way to? We are on our way to Los Angeles, the city of angels, right? The city of angels. The angel just being the representative of God, being God's representative. And isn't that our spiritual path, to go from the very material to the very spiritual, to the sacred, invisible, spiritual truth? So that's going to be our journey today. And of course, that journey, because it will have breakdowns, it will have issues. You might be stopped by the police for something, which reminds me of a story. So a couple were driving, and they pulled over. The man was driving, and the officer that stopped him said, "Sir, you were going 50 in a 40-mile-an-hour zone." And the man said, "I was not. I wasn't going a mile over 40. And the officer said, "Sir, do not argue with me. My radar clocked you at 50. "I was not," he says again. And his wife leans over the seat, and she said, "Officer, listen. It doesn't ever pay to argue with him when he's been drinking." So sometimes we'll have that, and really, here's one of the greatest points today, is that your angels can fly because they take themselves lightly. So you, in your journey from strong, doing it all yourself, big, husky, brawling person, woman or man that you are, to a sacred being who knows that intentionally she or he is living a life on purpose, as you're going from one to the other, what you really need is laughter. What you really need is love and laughter. You need to be able to take the situations in your life lightly and not let them bother you, dissuade you, discourage you. Remembering that where you live, right where you live, God is in its wholeness. God is whole as love in you right now. So today's theme is bend at the knees. And I learned this long ago as a public speaker, that in order to get out of my head, because when you're in your head, you're going to be like really off balance. You're going to be, and most of us will be off balance to the left. And I don't mean liberally, I mean our thinking brain is going to take over. In order to get into your body, you need to stand with your legs slightly apart, bend at the knees. And then you're really secured. And I remember people teaching me, and if you just feel the energy, you could do it right now where you're sitting, just put your hands out and toward the ground, and you can feel the energy. Now, when you're standing, you can feel the energy. It roots you to the ground. But if I have my legs, if I'm standing straight-legged, I am no longer flexible. I'm no longer going to be able to deal with the wobbles in life, the policemen that come along, the metaphysical stops, whatever they are. So it's about being flexible. Ernest Holmes says this: the law of cause and effect is a law of perfect balance, logical sequence of inevitable consequence. Whatever a man sows, he must reap. So it's a law of cause and effect, is a perfect balance, logical sequence of inevitable consequence. What we plant will grow into our experience. What we think about comes about. We're living in our experiences of thick thought. Thought thickens into things. That's pretty good, isn't it? Thought thickens into things. So when you think about that way, when I'm thinking about something and I've got a lot of emotion about it, then it becomes that thing I'm thinking about. Yesterday, I was privileged to attend a workshop that our teens put on. It was absolutely fabulous. We could, yes, give them a big hand. Give them a big hand. They were hugely in service yesterday. And it wasn't just a little, okay, we'll go to support the teens. Someone in our workshop said, this is just like a Sillamar. I love this. It is a spiritual workshop that they do, and they may do another one in the fall. Pay attention, because it was so worthwhile coming to be fed spiritually by our teens. And what I learned about them, I learned so much about them. First of all, they know this principle. They practice this principle. They don't get caught up in what they used to be or what their bodies look like or what clothes they've got on. They see right through it all to the truth. And that truth is love and power and joy and harmony. And it's absolutely beautiful. There were two things I wanted to share with you that we did in these workshops yesterday. It was from 10 until around 3. And I was going to leave at lunchtime because I'm so busy. That's my story. But what I found was, it was so good, I stayed because it was so good. Because I was part of a group that were really sharing with one another, because I was getting something out of the activities and exercises. It was so great. We were doing a little piece of writing about when we remember first being loved. Think about that for a moment. Think about a time when you really were loved. That was a powerful exercise. My family knows that I had to stop writing for a minute because I had to wipe away the tears and the snot because I don't cry pretty, but I was really taken with it. It was so beautiful. I recalled when my grandma would try to, when we were staying over at Grandma's, she would try to get the little kids to go to sleep. And she would sing to us, and then she would touch our faces just gently, like an angel's whisper. And that would sometimes put us to sleep. Sometimes it just made us pretend that we were asleep so she could go to sleep, so we could crawl over her and go away. But most of the time it was just me and my grandma. What a great thing it was, because it was total one-on-one connection, quality time. So they went on to tell us about the languages of love. And this isn't the order they told them in. Oh, I forgot about this. Balance synonyms, lots of them. Notice harmonize is one of them. Harmony, this came from the textbook as well. I'll go back to it. I want to go here. Okay, so the languages of love are gifts, quality time, touch, service, and words of affirmation. So let me just run through them a little bit. So most of you know what a gift is. And those of you whose language of love is gifts know that what you love about receiving or giving gifts isn't necessarily the thing, it's the idea behind the thing. Why is this person going to love this? What is this person going to care about? So a few weeks ago, Doris gave me one of the greatest gifts for my birthday. My birthday is in January, but she has been asking me, when are you going to unpack your books? I've only been in this new home for a year and 4 months. So she came over and spent the whole afternoon unpacking books and putting all my books away. Every single book I own that we could find is put away someplace. It was such a great, for me, it was a wonderful gift because it was also an act of service. Because it was an act, an expression of doing. being in service. Some gifts come wrapped in packages, and the ones that are meaningful are ones that you know the person has seen you, has valued you, has said, oh, this is going to look great on him or her. Or, I know this, I can just imagine what expression this will bring, what love this will, how the love will come out. Quality time, as I mentioned with my grandma, that one-on-one time is so important to many people about giving the gift of love. So are you spending time? Service. Being in service. Yes, vacuuming could be an act of love. Yes, dusting could be an act of love. Yes, making dinner could be an act of love. And then words of affirmation and praise. To be seen and valued is such a great gift, a real, true compliment. So a compliment of noticing something in particular about your beloved. But here's the thing about gifts of love that the teens pointed out that I hadn't thought of before. Do you know how the people in your life want to be loved? What is a gift of love to your spouse, your children, your parents or grandparents? I know without a doubt that my mother thrives on quality time. And she gets it because we Skype with her. And yes, at 93, she really knows how to Skype. Why? Because it connects her to her children in a meaningful way. If she had no reason to learn it, she probably wouldn't have. But she does, and she's ready for us. Oh boy, if we don't call, well, did you have a nap today? Is that why you're calling so late? Anyway. And here's the other thing that I really appreciate the teens pointed out, is that the people in your life, what they value as their gifts of love, their ways of expressing love, and what yours are, could be completely different. Could be completely different. Because most of us give, well, I've noticed that for me anyway, I give what I want to receive. I always think in terms of, well, if they don't like it, I would take it back, because I like it. I give what I like to receive. And that's just sort of, and now I realize, oh, maybe I really need to think in terms of what do they want to receive? What do they want to receive? What is a gift for that beloved one in my life? Which requires us to take a little risk on our Route 66, to ask questions, to find out from the people that we love. What pleases you? What is meaningful? What may not be so meaningful? All right. So here's the thing. We're going to go to black now. Amy, I need your help because I don't have black. I do. Okay. So if you are living a balanced life, you're not going to fall over if someone bumps against you, or you're bending at the knees, you're flexible. You're flexible in your thinking as well as in your being. Flexible in your thinking. You're willing to change course, because as we grow, we need to be able to do that. We're growing and changing. Then truly, every day you're moving from Chicago to LA. Every day you're moving from the material to the sublime. Now I know Los Angeles might not be that, but think of what the name is. City of Angels. Right here in San Clemente, we are amongst angels. They're the people that give us gifts that we appreciate, gifts of service, gifts of love, gifts of touch, gifts of our presence. And you know, your center also can be the recipient. All the people around you, right? As you look around, and our song for the month is, "You are the face of God." You are the face of God. Do you know that when you come in here? And do you know it when you're leaving? And do you see that face of God on absolutely everyone else? That's the gift that we bring. So, I wanted to move into another story, and it's escaping me, so obviously I'm not supposed to go there. When was the last time you really laughed? Laughed so hard that you almost maybe, whatever. Laughed so hard that you couldn't control yourself. You were laughing so hard. When was the last time? Was it recently? Well, it's going to come up again for you right away quick. So here's what I know. I know that this Route 66, this bending at our knees, is what we're called to do. It's who we are as the power and the presence of God. I know that we are traveling this road, and we're traveling with like-minded people. We're traveling with others, whether we recognize them or not. Everyone is on our path on purpose. Just like 66 happens to mean balance and love and harmony, which I didn't know until after the seminar yesterday. We're always supported. Think about the things in your life that you've maybe risked to do, and you found that right there, all the support was. All the support is already there. Well, with God, all things are possible. Please repeat that with me. With God, all things are possible. I am the face of God. I am the voice of God. I am the heart of God. I love intelligently. I give my love to all I see. And it returns to me. Multiplied. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now it is my joy to welcome back to the platform the men from Texaco.
Well, I'm in Long Tall, Texas. I drive a big white car. You guys from Texas in a big white car. Well, I'm in Long Tall, Texas. I drive a big white car. You guys from Texas in a big white car. Well, people look at me and say, woo-wee, that's a car. Johnny, ain't it? Well, I'm in Long Tall, Texas. I wear a 10-gallon hat. You guys from Texas use a 10-gallon hat. Well, I'm in Long Tall, Texas. I wear a 10-gallon hat. You guys from Texas wear a 10-gallon hat. The people look at me and say, woo-wee, that's a hat. Yeah, about 20 gallons, I'd say. Well, I was walking down the street with my shiny badge, my spurs jingling down at my feet. At his feet, I see a man coming coming with a gun. I just can't be beat. Come on and giddy up. Giddy up. Hey, partner, giddy up. Giddy up. Well, I'm in Long Tall, Texas. I enforce justice for the law. He rides from Texas to enforce the law. Well, I'm in Long Tall, Texas. I enforce justice for the law. He rides from Texas to enforce the law. Well, people look at me and say, oh, you the law? Yeah, you better believe it. I'm going to deputize somebody here. Come on, give me this. Come on, deal with my posse. How about you? Eat those stinking badge. It smells good. Come on. Ah, you darn vomit. Get out of here. Get out of that crazy costume and come back and sing for these people. I don't know about him now. I think he's been hitting that Sacramento line. Acting a little strange lately. Well, I'm in Long Tall, Texas. I ride a big white horse. He rides from Texas on a big white horse. Well, I'm in Long Tall, Texas. I ride a big white horse. He rides from Texas on a little fuzzy horse. Well, people look at me and say, oh, that's your horse? Yeah, you know that he rides that horse. When people look at me, I say, woo, I love my horse. It's really sick how he loves that horse. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Woo! Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up.